Good morning, everyone. A special good morning and welcome to Mr. Timothy Scott, Coordinator of the National Telecommunications Regulatory Commission, and other staff of the NTRC, specially invited guests, teachers, and students from various schools, Dr. Philomena Keto, Associate Dean of the T.A. Marichaud Community College, members of the media, one and all, good morning and welcome to the Girls in ICT, the Grenada edition. Today, countries around the world will be celebrating Girls in ICT Day initiatives. This is a collaboration of the NTRC, the National Telecommunication Regulatory Commission, the Ministry of Education, and the Ministry with the responsibility of ICT, and the T.A. Marichaud Community College. This year's theme is leadership, empowering our girls today for opportunities tomorrow. At this time, I will invite Ms. Giovanna Mark from the NTRC to start today's proceedings with a word of prayer. Ms. Mark.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the NTRC, welcome. I would like for us to please stand for prayer this morning. Almighty Father, Creator of the heavens and the earth, as we come to you this morning, we thank you for granting us traveling mercies. We pray over these proceedings. We pray that it will run smoothly. We pray also for our young ladies in ICT. We pray that they may get to know each other, interact with each other, and have a great day today. We place this in your hands, dear Father. Amen.
Thank you, Ms. Mark. I will invite you to sit. At this time, I would like to welcome to the podium Dr. Philomena Keto, the Associate Dean of the T.A. Marichaud Community College, to provide a welcome and brief introduction. Dr. Keto.
Good morning. Are you awake? Good morning. All right, there we go. Well, I'd like to say, standing on protocol, good morning to everyone, and welcome to the Girls in ICT Day. Now, this is a topic that is very close to my heart. I was a girl who was in ICT, right? I think that the topic of technology is very important. And even more important is your input in that field. This is a field that has a history of females, but recent times, more males have been dominating. But we need your input. What you have to say about processes, technology, about the way that we use the technology is very important. Your ideas are going to be unique because you are coming from the female perspective. So we can't have a field that gives us technology, things that we can use, and only one set of people create that. I know a lot of you may be home and your mother will tell you, go sweep your room, right? Now, we have technology where we can have a robot do it for us. I'm very happy that I have one because it's something that when growing up, I used to hate doing. But now we have that technology. There are women in the field who are making the technology better, who are making it more accessible, who are making it easier to use. A lot of times, technology comes out and it's very difficult, right? But we have a certain perspective, right? We think of others. And so it is really important to have your voice in the room when the technology is being created. Even it is important that you create the technology. Technology technology is a field that drives organizations. It drives countries and societies. Imagine when I was growing up, we had to have a landline. We had a telephone in the house, right? So if you were out and you needed to call somebody or your mother needed to get a hold of you, they couldn't do it because you didn't have a phone on you. Now, everyone uses a cell phone, right? The communication is better, right? It's easier. Even now, most people are not necessarily putting credit on their phone and using straight calling. Everyone's using WhatsApp to call, right? Technology drives how system is, how system moves, how organizations do things. Before, you may have had manual processes to do certain things with certain companies. Now we can pay our bills online, right? We can do banking online. This is making information and processes a lot easier in society. So technology is very important. My career started out, I wanted to be in mass communications. I know many of you may not have heard of this person, but I wanted to be the next Barbara Walters. Do you guys know who Barbara Walters is? All right, she's a journalist. The older ones may have heard of it, right? I wanted to be Barbara Walters. I was gonna be a journalist, I was gonna be rich, I was gonna be on TV, everyone was gonna see me. And then I found out what the entry-level salary was. It wasn't very good. So I moved from mass communications to IT. I studied IT. I came out, I got my first job in a software company. I was able to implement systems. I was able to meet with people. And it was a field that I really enjoyed. I furthered my education in that. I got my master's. I worked in the IT field by being a technician. So I was the girl, I don't want to say guy, I was the girl who you would go to if your computer broke, if you couldn't log into your account. Then even the ones who were putting up the wires, I was that person. Then I moved into management, where I was then able to be the top technology person in the organization. So then now my responsibility went from pulling the cables to actually driving the strategic technology goals of the company. I had an input in how the company moves forward with their technology, right? And that strategic goal touched every part of the company. It implemented services and processes for accounting, for business, for how we deal with our customers. After that, I got into teaching, and it is actually very pleasing to be in the field and then move into teaching, because now you're able to bring that knowledge and that experience to the next generation. So now at TA Marischal Community College, I teach IT as well as communications, so I haven't forgotten my first degree. And it is very nice to see that not only is TAMCC moving forward with technology in society, but also there are institutions and organizations like the NTRC who make sure that I don't want to say underserved, but that the voices that are not heard are heard. And usually that is the girls in ICT. We want you guys to innovate. We want you to participate. All right? So today, what I'd like to see happen, I'm going to give you a charge. I want to see you guys go around. I want you to soak up the knowledge that you're going to get. I want you to explore the possibilities of careers and lifestyles that you can live. And I want you to ask all of the difficult, hard questions that you have in your head. Even the most important one, when you see someone, a female who has been working in ICT, ask her, how did she get there? What does she do? How does she like it? And I know you want to know the important question. How much money does she make before she gets the big ride, right? So ask the questions, learn about the possibilities, and soak up the knowledge, okay? This is the information that you're going to get that is going to change your life and eventually change the lives of society, okay? So make sure that you innovate. You are going to learn about AI today. Artificial intelligence is something that we are using on a daily basis. We are not just using it to write our papers, as some of you do. We are also using it in other ways. And your voice in that area is very important. It's a new and emerging area. You may come out with an idea that no one else will think of. So it is important for us to have your voice involved in the field. Okay. All right. Well, I'd like to thank you very much for listening to me. I welcome you to the ICT Day. You are females. You are going to be in the field. And having a Girls in ICT Day is a very important thing. So I welcome you. Have a great day. And remember, enjoy yourself and gain the knowledge. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Cato, for the welcoming remarks. At this time, we have arrived at a paramount time of the event. Today, we are honored to have a Grenada-born engineer recognized as a modern-day technology leader. She is a recipient of the 38th Black Engineer of the Year Award. Her name is Dr. Camille Lewis. She was recently inducted into the National Academy of Engineering in 2018 and is ranked as one of the US top 100 engineers. She holds a PhD in computational and applied mathematics and a master's in applied mathematics from the University of Arkansas. She also holds a bachelor's in mathematics and a minor in physics from Midwestern State University. Dr. Lewis, most importantly, is also a proud graduate from St. Joseph Convent, St. George's. She will be sharing a very important topic with us today, ICT leadership. And we welcome her wealth of experience and knowledge in sharing on that topic. At this time, I will encourage you to give her a round of applause as she shares on ICT leadership. Dr. Lewis.
Can you hear me clearly? Good. So, Chair of the Commission, distinguished members of the Commission present, Mr. Timothy Scott, Coordinator, young ladies, esteemed guests, and fellow advocates. A pleasant good morning. Mr. Scott, I would first like to sincerely thank you for the kind invitation to deliver this address at this closing ceremony. I consider it a great honor to have the opportunity to speak to these amazing young women. When I think of them, I see myself back in secondary school, full of potential and energy. Girls, I hope that you have enjoyed this year's Girls in ICT Day celebration and are now more interested than before in ICT and the wider fields of science, technology, engineering, and math, referred to as STEM. I know that sometimes these areas can seem a bit intimidating, but I want you to know that they are exciting and can offer you a meaningful career in life. My own journey, as mentioned, as a woman in technology and engineering, started right there in Grenada. I gained a strong foundation in math and science that has served me well over the years. It is true that in STEM, you have to apply yourself much more than in some other fields, but this should not deter you. You have many things in your favor, including technology itself. You are much more comfortable with technology than the generation before you. All of you know what an iPad or Samsung phone is. You probably have a smart TV at home. I also know many young Grenadians are very familiar with social media such as Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. So the latest science and technology are already a part of your lives and right there in your homes. A career in STEM means going from just using technology for your own entertainment and personal use to creating or implying technology to fill gaps and solve problems. However, doing so requires confidence and strong leadership to be successful. Too often, girls do not think they have what it takes to succeed in technology. But you do. I know because I have made that journey. Earlier this year, as mentioned, I was recognized as a modern day technology leader at the Black Engineer of the Year award called BEA in the United States. This was a great honor and very humbling for me. This is because I grew as a person from a shy girl in Grenada to a confident woman at Lockheed Martin, one of the world's leading engineering companies. This is not only my story, but also the story of other women in technology. At the awards ceremony, there were many, many others who received honors and were recognized for their work at global companies like Google and General Electric. Dr. Cato mentioned women bring their own unique experience to technology that broadens the range of solutions that can be generated. There is great value that we bring to this table. So women are succeeding in STEM, women are succeeding in technology, women are leaders in the field, but there is still a gap and more women need to get involved. I want to encourage you to consider a future career in technology. My career at Lockheed Martin has been very rewarding. I have helped to find technological solutions to some very critical challenges in the aerospace industry. However, I cannot deny that there have been challenges. Not everyone wanted to see me advance, but I did not let that deter me because I found that there were even more people who wanted me to succeed. What I learned along the way is that when things get difficult, you must not give up. You must not turn away. Some of you may feel that way even at school sometimes. When things get tough, we need to look within ourselves and know that we are strong enough to overcome any challenges that we face. And we don't have to do it alone. There is support out there if we need some help. I have had very good mentors and supporters along my journey who have helped me to succeed. At home was my mom, my family. At school, it was my teachers. In college, my professors. At work, mentors and my executive leaders. Girls, it is so important in life to have people who influence you in positive ways. It's not too early for you to have a role model in technology, and I hope that some of you have seen potential role models over the past day. Additionally, several of you will have similar interests in technology. I encourage you to form a technology club or join one if it already exists, so you can explore technology together. It can be more fun that way. I want each of you to know that you have the potential to be a leader in technology, and we need you to be. In fact, Grenada needs you to be. You will have to seriously apply yourself in math and science subjects in your current schools. It is also not too early to begin talking to your teachers and parents about a future career in technology. To work in some areas of technology requires certification, while other areas require a college degree. You may also want to take your education further and acquire a master's or doctoral degree, which is what I did. So today, as we gather to celebrate ICT Day 2024, we stand on the precipice of a transforming era, or transformative era. An era where the barriers that once hindered women and girls from fully participating in the world of technology are being shattered, and new pathways to leadership and innovation are emerging and being forged. Reflecting on the journey we've embarked upon, it's awe inspiring to acknowledge the remarkable progress we've made in bridging the gender gap in the field of information and communication technology. From humble beginnings to this momentous occasion, we've witnessed more and more women and girls stepping into roles as leaders, innovators, and change makers in the tech industry. Their contributions are driving forward progress and shaping the future of our digital world in unprecedented ways. But let us not forget the journey that has brought us to this pivotal moment. It's a journey marked by perseverance, resilience, and unyielding determination. A journey paved by trailblazing women, our pioneers, the visionaries, innovators, and change makers who blaze a trail for generations to come, and women modern-day technology leaders like myself who are demonstrating outstanding performance in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So in the world of information and communication technology, leadership takes on a special significance. It's about more than just leading teams or managing projects. It's about harnessing the power of technology to address some of the most pressing challenges facing our society today, whether it's developing technological and innovative solutions to combat climate change, bringing the digital divide, or promoting social justice and equality. The potential for impact is limitless. Whether your heart beats for coding, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, or any other facet of technology, it's essential to recognize that your passion is your greatest asset. Embrace it with fervor, nurture it with dedication, and let it serve as a guiding light on the journey to becoming a leader in ICT. Your unwavering commitment to your passion will propel you forward, even in the face of adversity. Let's be honest, there will be challenges along the way. As mentioned before, the road to leadership is seldom smooth, especially for women and girls in a male-dominated field like ICT. It's crucial to remember that with every challenge comes an invaluable opportunity for growth, resilience, and empowerment. So embrace these challenges as stepping stones to your path to greatness and let them fortify your determination to success. You are not alone on this journey. You have a community of sisters standing beside you, united in solidarity and committed to your success. Lean on this network of support. Seek guidance and draw strength from the collective determination to break down barriers, challenges, stereotypes, and create a more inclusive, equitable, technological industry for future generations. Together, we are unstoppable force for change. So my fellow leaders in the making, I implore you to seize the moment and embrace your potential and with unwavering resolve. Be fearless in your pursuit of excellence, bold in your vision for the future, and relentless in your commitment to making a positive impact in technology in the world around you. The world is eagerly awaiting your voices, your ideas, your leadership, all in technology, more now than ever before. So in closing, I want to commend the National Telecommunications Regulatory Commission for the work you are doing to expose girls to ICT. It has been a pleasure for me to share my thoughts and experiences with you, and I thank you.
Dr. Lewis, we are extremely appreciative of your words of wisdom. At this time, we will be inviting you, our future ICT leaders, to ask Dr. Lewis any question of your choice. Please walk up to the podium, not to the podium, to the microphone, I beg your pardon, to do so. Who would like to start? We need one brave leader to start. After all this inspirational words, we cannot allow Dr. Lewis, a wealth of information, to log off and don't be able to share additional experiences. Someone, anyone. Thank you, ma'am, from SAS.
Good morning. Good morning. Dr. Lewis, my question to you is, why do you like coding so much? What is it in coding that you're so passionate about?
Oh, great question. So, as I mentioned, my career propelled from the foundation I received in Grenada. So, I was always a critical thinker, logical in thinking. So, I'm not much, I do not like to memorize and spend much time on theory, but also more on the practical stuff. So as my career journey progressed, in order to move beyond the human mind and the things that we can sum up, it meant understanding arbitrary and getting involved with writing programs to do the type of computation that is beyond the human thinking. So coding is the way and was the way then. So that propelled me to learn the language and understand it and use it to my benefit in my career as an engineer. So if I didn't mention before, my background is in mathematics, applied mathematics. But again, in all engineering fields, math is heavily utilized. So coding was a way for me to speak what mentally I was not able to articulate in a tangible form way.
Okay, then, thank you, Dr. Lewis, for that response. Do we have another question? I'm hoping that we have a few more brave leaders doing so. Thank you, ma'am. Just step to the microphone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So one of my questions was I wanted to ask you, what were your challenges that you faced and the struggles you went through before you became what you are today?
Okay, so, another great question. So coming from the Caribbean, Grenada in particular, we are instilled with using more, what I should say, our mental capacity versus the technology that was available at the time. So things may be different now. Like I said, we are more exposed to technology. So early in my career, even through pursuit of my degrees, coming to the US, it was a big jump for me to start using the technology to address the problems versus trying to solve them with my head. And so that was one of my first challenges. So I am pretty sure we bridged that gap, and now we're applying technology where needed. Then moving on to even getting a PhD, it was a challenge in terms of I never thought of obtaining a PhD. I knew I wanted to do a master's, and then I started to look at what it takes to even be a PhD candidate. So it meant testing out of some courses or classes in order to be able to be considered a candidate. So um, my challenge there was the awareness and, the communicating, having those information communicated to me. So that's why it's very good to express early your career goals and ambition. And then moving to a big company like Lockheed Martin, as we said, one of the leading engineering companies in the world. I'm a woman in a field dominated by men, and not only a woman, a Black woman. So many times I sit in meetings and there's no one like me in those meetings. So making sure that you speak up and your voice is heard, because again, diversity helps shape a lot of solutions. So that I will implore you to always do, not only later on, but even now in the classroom. No idea is not a good idea. It's just finding the relevant space. So as I progress, I had to also break my barrier of being shy and start speaking out, as well as competing with others in the field that no one looks like me. And it's served me well having mentors in my career and advocates so that I was able to progress and still continue to break barriers in a large company and a large domain space that I currently exist in.
Thank you, Dr. Lewis. Do we have any more questions? Can we have the young lady from, forgive me, what's the name of the school again? Yes, yes, ma'am. And then we will have this young lady after, and we would have the third one thereafter.
Good morning. I know you started speaking on the challenges you face, but what I wanted to know is if, because you're a Black woman from the Caribbean, if there was any bias, like in job opportunities, payment like salary, and do you think that there is any bias towards women in the ICT sector?
Okay, so yes, so when I started my career, I was in the US for a while because I spent 10 years actually pursuing from my first degree to my PhD degree, did it in 10 years. I was on a mission. So um, I always knew I wanted to work for Lockheed Martin. I saw 101 careers in mathematics, and Lockheed Martin was leading. So I had a goal. Getting into Lockheed Martin was challenging. So it meant undertaking a position maybe I was overqualified for, but I just needed to get in. So when you ask about adversities, so not knowing and understanding what someone with a PhD is qualified to do or the merit they should receive was my barrier in not being able to negotiate. So those are things that may have been different if it was male standing in the position applying for that opportunity. But coming from the Caribbean was not a barrier at all. And most times we look at qualification. sometimes the school you attend plays an important role because they're target schools based on the fields you're looking to get into. But even today, in this current domain, in the science, technology, engineering, mathematics, yes, women are still not equally compensated for as well as a man, as much as a man may be in the current field. So that's some of the barriers we're still trying to break and advocate that women voices are important, and the diversity in solutions are most often brought through the lens of women as well.
Thank you, Dr. Lewis. Can we have the second volunteer for asking her question?
Good morning. My question is, who inspired you to be what you are today?
So thank you for that question. My inspiration came from many sources. I've always resonated with science and mathematics. And I remember early on, I represented Grenada in the science fair. Went to Tortola as I participated in Grenada Science Fair, won the first place, then went to Tortola to represent Grenada. I think I was third place there. But I also had some inspirational teachers, especially in St. Joseph's Convent. And I would not forget my math teachers in particular. They recognized the skill and talent I had in mathematics, and they always challenged me. And then I wanted to be a doctor, to be honest, a medical doctor. But then I said, no, I think I want to, coming to the US, I said, no, I want to do mathematics because I understood the foundation we have in the Caribbean, and being in the US, the foundation is different. So kids in the US tend to shy away more from mathematics because they do not receive the strength and the foundation we have in the Caribbean. So I encourage you to take advantage of those strengths and use them to propel you so that that as well can be your advocate or your determination to enter into this field that is so in need of women today.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Lewis. I do believe we have one more.
Good morning. My question to you is, how many years of studying did it take you to be what you are today?
So in total, if we looking at from my first degree, so I graduated from St. Joseph's Convent in 1992. I did attend TA Marriage Show for 2 years, and then I spent 2 years in Grenada teaching and working in a bank before going to the US to pursue my degrees. So in total, if I look at from my first degree to my PhD, it took me a total of 10 years. That was very aggressive, but it can be done. It meant finishing my undergraduate in about 2.5 years, and a PhD, which normally would take you 5 to 10 years. I was able to complete it in 4 years. It took a lot of focus and determination to get through those.
Thank you, Dr. Lewis. I do believe we have another question from an Anglican High student, and there's another one at the back. And I do believe, Dr. Lewis, there will be a question from your alma mater. So just bear with us one moment. Yes, ma'am.
Good Good morning, Dr. Lewis.
Good morning.
So my question to you is, what discipline did you take to get to where you are?
So my training, education is in mathematics. I did undergrad math and science, so physics was my minor. Then I recognized early that I did not want to do pure math, not just be theoretical or not also be bounded by just teaching. So I ventured into applied math. Engineering fields were always of interest to me. So when I started my master's, I looked at computation applied math. And then I continued to pursue a degree. My PhD specialized in computation applied mathematics. So it did allow me an advantage to move into engineering fields and work with one of the leading engineering companies in the world.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Lewis. Can we have the other volunteer? Wait, she's at the microphone first, so can we facilitate the beacon?
Yeah. Good morning, Dr. Lewis.
Good morning.
Um, how long do you, how long did you aspire to do ICT?
So I would say awareness of what you can do with this particular degrees or area of interest. Remember, I said your passion is your biggest asset. So if you have a passion for mathematics, if you have a passion for biology, a passion for chemistry, understanding the various domains or areas you can pursue with that passion is really important. So with my passion for mathematics, I understood that there are many engineering fields or engineering roles I can play in.
Thank you, Dr. Lewis. Can we have the other volunteer for asking her question?
Okay, my second question is, um, in response to my friend's question, you said, I work in a company dominated by men. So how do you survive in that place? Do you have to push down the men? Do you refuse to help the men? Do you work along with the men, or do you just help women?
Great question. So we tend not to step on each other. That's not the best way to success or climbing the ladder. So you look for opportunities to collaborate. No one has the one answer or knows the unique solution. And especially in the field I am, it takes a lot of players to come up with the solution. We can have great ideas, but you may have some that work in strategy, some that work in execution, some that work in optimization. And we look at those type of processes. So working together, but also being the best at what you do. So becoming a subject matter expert in a field or domain can also help you in accelerating or climbing the path, climbing that ladder. So I would urge you to continue to excel, also identify opportunities to mentor women in the field. So you can I have a few mentees that I pass knowledge to, transfer knowledge, not just in the engineering field, but also in terms of career. And those are all different avenues you can use to accelerate. versus holding others down.
Thank you for your words of wisdom. Just one moment. I have I think it's three ladies from SJC, St. George's, wanting to ask you questions. So we'll have the first one, and can you just please walk over to the microphone to ask Dr. Lewis her question?
My question is, if you could travel back to the past, what would you do differently?
That's a good one. So I tend to look back, as I mentioned, on some of the what we may consider as failures as opportunities. So my I always believe that lessons learned can be accomplished from not the best choices or decisions made in the past. So I tend not to look back and say, what would I have done differently? I use it as a lesson in influencing what I would do differently in the future, or how I will move in a certain direction in the future. But if I was to look back, like, you are blessed in this current age. You mentioned you have access to technology. So that was the huge difference in my past, is access to an understanding, or even being allowed. I think that was the barrier, being allowed to use technology in our solutions, especially mathematics.
Thank you, Dr. Lewis. Can we have the other SJC volunteer for asking her question?
Good morning, Miss Dr. Lewis. My question for you is, what are some core principles that would influence you? And if there was a special quote that helped you go through your struggles, what was it, if you would like to share it?
So thank you for that question. Again, always believe in yourself. So even going through the struggles, see them as an opportunity. Other doors may open that you may not have been thinking of because you were on a path, but embrace them and start thinking of how you can navigate or change course, but eventually staying true, very true to your brand and your passion.
Thank you, Dr. Lewis. We'll have the final question from SJC, and then we move on to our final volunteer question thereafter.
Good morning, Dr. Lewis. I wanted to ask, you said you did like IT and math, etc. So I wanted to know like if there's like a certain level you could reach with the subjects, or like you could like go into it further, or if you could like be overqualified for your like position.
There will never be overqualification, because we're in a transformative era. Things are continuously changing. As we see the pace AI is moving, technology and solutions that were once the best in breed, maybe 6 months ago, may be obsolete today. So always growing professionally, learning new things will never make you overqualified. It may just set you along a different course or path that can be used to your benefit.
Thank you, Dr. Lewis. Can we have our final volunteer with her question?
Good morning, Dr. Lewis. My question for you today is, how fulfilled are you today in your career choice?
Very fulfilled and very rewarding. So your passion is your asset. And I am doing something I like and things that I like and enjoy. So my career has been very good to me. I am not in the position where I feel like it's just a job and I have these obligations. I continue to pursue what I am passionate about, and I must admit, it may take doing other things to get to this place, but now I'm at this place. I have the opportunity to move in many directions and enjoy and explore the things that I'm passionate about, but at the same time, making sure that it aligns and brings value to my company and the direction that we're going.
Thank you, Dr. Lewis. The young ladies are so inspired. We have one more question, and we're hoping to wrap up. Thank you. Go ahead.
Good morning, Dr. Lewis. My question is, did you have a mentor to guide you through your journey?
Yes, I had many mentors. So early in my career, I give a lot of credit to, so some of them are not around anymore. The one person I want to mention is Elizabeth Henry, Mr. Bell. These people saw potential and acted as mentors while I was in high school. So my passion to pursue mathematics, coming to the US, I've had mentors, especially as I went through my master's degree. They saw a lot of potential in me, my advisor, and then at my in my career, my job at Lockheed Martin, in order for me to get to where I am right now, it meant developing relationships, and part of those relationships are mentorships. So they act as your advocate, they provide career guidance to you, and they also transfer a lot of knowledge because they see you as the next thing or the next person that can lead or take the company to different directions or high heights. So mentors are really, really important.
Dr. Lewis, we are extremely appreciative of your time. We appreciate all the words of wisdom, your words of inspiration. We will continue to be inspired by your work, and we in turn are encouraging you to continue to be a mover and shaker in all of your future endeavors as you proceed. And you are most definitely someone who all will be looking up to. So ladies, let's give Dr. Lewis a hand of applause. Thank you so very much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, and all the best to everyone there.
Okay, everybody. So after all of this inspiration, I want you to look to your neighbor and say, if Dr. Lewis can do this, so can I, and so can you. Come on, let's just look to our neighbor and say that. If Dr. Lewis can do it, so can I, and so can you. And I want you to look behind you, and we're seeing all of the gentlemen who are at the control. You see that? They're all men, not as though we have an issue with that, but we're hoping from today's event you will be inspired. So in 10 years from now, it's not only going to be these gentlemen sitting there, but you as well will be sitting there inspiring young ladies as well. We agree? Remember, we were given a charge at the beginning of this event So now we're going to be moving on to another exciting part of the program. We have two very industrious gentlemen sharing on the application of drones. Mr. Junior George, he's an entrepreneur, technology major, and founder and host of the globally syndicated of Ride Along Alive. And then we have Mr. Andrew Richards. He is a quadcopter drone operator with over 700 flight hours and over 620 flights. He's experienced with Parrot and DJI platforms, including Phantoms, Mavic Pro Series and Inspire Series, and he would usually do drone flights for the Grenada Tourism Authority, private companies, real estate, engineering, and surveying companies. He also participated in the Sargassum Seaweed Drone Measurement course done by Dr. Kim Baldwin. I will now invite these two gentlemen to do an application of drones session with you. Mr. George and Mr. Richard.
Good morning. So good morning. That's how leaders answer. How's everybody doing today? All right. I am here to give a short description about UAVs or drones, also sometimes referred to as UAS, meaning unmanned aerial systems. Can anybody tell me any women that they know of who were involved in drone technology or flying, whether in Grenada or internationally? Raise of hands, anybody? So no hands went up. Hedy Lamarr invented a frequency hopping communication system, and that system was used to establish the foundations of things like GPS, Bluetooth, and the Wi-Fi technology that we use today. And these are technologies that underpin the function and use of drones. What are they used for in Grenada? Well, there's a company in Grenada that uses drones for agriculture. Instead of having people go all the way out into the field to put fertilizer in the cane, they actually put the chemicals in a container attached to a commercial drone, and then they fly it over the field in a predetermined pattern that the user would program into the drone in order to distribute whether it's fertilizer or pesticides. Land surveying and photogrammetry. You can also use drones to map different locations, sort of like Google Earth, but a lot more precise. And you can pull all the photos taken from the drone into a software that will allow you to measure between different points on the Earth and or create a 3D model of whatever it is, say a building, a site, etc. Tourism and marketing, we use the drones for photos, videos, TikToks, IG, Facebook. And from a commercial perspective, people use drones currently for inspections. Rather than have a team climb a tower to look at the state of the communications equipment, they might send a drone up instead, which is both safer and faster. What are they used for in the rest of the world? In Africa, they actually used fixed-wing drones to deliver medical supplies and or samples for testing from remote locations to hospitals, and from the hospitals or pharmacies to the remote locations. which is really cool. You can check it on YouTube, Google it. Border security and surveillance, police and security, search and rescue. For example, if we have a fisherman that is lost, if we have the right technology, we can actually use drones to go and find that person quickly so that the Coast Guard or whichever rescue would be able to find them. How do they work? Essentially, I think there was going to be a controller. He's going to do it?
Switch it. Put it right. That's okay? That's good for your hair?
All right, well, you're seeing the display from the controller, which is a larger version of what you may be able to use today. And you'll notice, you can't see it on the screen, but you'll notice there are 2 sticks. Each of these flight control sticks will send a particular signal to the drone in order to do a particular thing. So when a drone is turned on and it levitates, it will usually maintain that particular altitude. You'll have a stick that will allow you to, as the paper would say, increase the throttle and or decrease the throttle. Oh, let me see. Put it down, let me try something. Watch out, watch out. All right. So, all right. So each stick has a function. One will turn it left or right. That same stick has the ability to make it go higher or lower. Then the other stick will allow it to go backwards or forwards, and will allow it to turn left, well, strafe or roll left or roll right. This particular one doesn't have the guards. I believe the ones you guys are going to try later are going to have the guards, which will prevent, if you're careful, from you getting hurt by the blades. But it's very important to treat all drones as something that can hurt other people. The RGPF encourages people when they are flying drones to, one, not do it in front of large crowds and over large crowds, because should the drone have a problem and fall out of the sky, you don't want to hurt people. As a best practice, one probably should not fly one indoors, especially in a small, confined space, like a house or a classroom. If anybody has any questions, I would love to answer any questions. All right, no questions. All right, so I'll turn the microphone over to Mr. Junior George, and
Good
he
morning,
will.
I have a question.
Oh, Yes, please, go ahead.
Do you have to have a license to fly it, or could you just buy it and fly it?
So in Grenada, you are required not necessarily to have an operator's license, but each drone must be carried to the RGPF, to the fort, unless that's been changed, where you will bring 2 forms of ID and the drone itself, where they will take the serial number or the flight control number off the device and log it in a book. So in case somebody does something they should not do with the drone and it finds itself somewhere that it should not be, they would know who to question.
Okay, so you guys excited? You ready to fly? Nah, you guys don't sound ready to fly. Come on. Are you ready to fly? Sounds better. That's the energy I like. All right, I'm going to be very brief, guys. My name is Junior George. You guys probably know me from Ride Along Live. Today, while we demonstrate outside, I'll show you how I use drones in content creation and management, all right? So you guys see Ride Along. Sometimes you see concerts and you see some great shots. You guys vlog? You do any vlogging? Anyone want to be? No one vlog? YouTube? TikTok? TikTok? Come on, you guys do TikTok. I'm going to show you how you could use drones as a way to create brilliant content. I'll show you how you could use it to stream, collect great photos and videos. I'm not going to be talking much here today because today it's all about the demonstration that we're going to be doing outside. So are you guys excited? Nah, that don't sound like excitement at all. Are you excited? That sounds much better. I love the fact that we have today girls in ICT, and I am so happy to see you guys here today, your bright faces, and that's why I'm here. And feel free, when we get outside and showing you the demonstration, feel free to ask any questions that you have, all right? There are brilliant minds that are here, and we're here to answer the questions. So if you have any questions now, I'll take it. Yes? Sure, that's the whole idea. You will be the one that's flying the drones. I'm just going to be monitoring, all right? And it's going to be a really nice venture for you guys, and we really appreciate you guys are here and happy to learn. I'm here just to facilitate any questions that you may have. All right? Thank you. Check, check. All right. So I was of the opinion that we was going to do this outside, but we're going to do it right here. All right? I must say that, keep in mind, drones are not designed to fly indoors. All right? Should be done in a safe space outside. It's very dangerous, as indicated by the last speaker. It's very dangerous to fly drone inside because you have to be prepared for not hurting people or flying over people's head, and this is not the perfect space. So I'll ask my friend to just come and help me here really quickly because I'm not going to be using my drone today. I'm more comfortable with my drone. We're going to use this drone because it would cast onto the screen. While we get to that, let me ask you guys, Turn it on. Let me ask you guys a quick question. Who know and understand what the meaning of ICT? What is ICT? Yeah? What's ICT? Yeah? Stand up. What's ICT? Ah, beautiful. Brilliant. Round of applause. Information and communication technology. And just like your cell phone, guys, the drone speaks to information and communication, and it is an amazing piece of technology. In this little piece of technology that I'm holding in my hand, the software, it's everything about ICT. Information, because once the drone gets up, it transmits information, content, which could be then curated for screens or to put together your own video production or whatever. In terms of communication, it is an excellent communication tool because drones could actually be used to stream live. Let me give you guys a little quick story. I use drones to do a lot of my live production. So I'm communicating with thousands of people. Yeah, okay. This one? Right, okay. So it transmits, so it communicates. And in my field, I use this drone to broadcast live on my platform on a daily basis. I've been to a lot of countries all over the world, including Africa, Ghana to be exact. And oftentimes, this is how I capture my footage. Say hi to the drone. Ah, nice, nice. Now, the question that you may ask yourself, how do you control the drone? And what's keeping the drone elevated like that in the air, right? And it has to do with this piece of technology that controls the drone, that communicates with the physical drone in terms of managing the left, right, back, and front operation, right? So guys, what you're going to learn a little bit later is the controls on the drone. Now, if I want the drone to go back, as we saw earlier, that's front, that's back, the control would enable you to do that, right? Move back. And if you're using this for vlogging or for content management, you may want to capture some nice, see how nice that looks? The whole, beautiful. Absolutely amazing, right? Right. But it's important, guys, before you fly the drone, especially if you're going to use this drone to go way in the sky, or if you're going to use the drone without actually seeing the drone, physically seeing the drone, see the battery is getting low, you have to establish your home point. As what's happening right now, the drone battery is getting low. So at that point, whenever your drone battery is getting low, it will try to attempt to land. Again, what you have to remember is that there is limited time, limited flying time with a drone. In some cases, you may have anything from 25 minutes to 45 minutes of flight time. So you have to average your flight time based on the battery power of the drone. I'm going to land the drone now because the battery is getting low battery indicator. So what we're going to learn a little bit later, guys, when you get to the exhibit, is one, how to fly the drone, how to capture footage for the drone, and how to keep the drone in safe spaces so you don't hurt yourself or anybody else. In addition, we're going to teach you how to land the drone, how to operate the drone, and how to get content out. Land there. I'm going to land the drone now because the battery is low. All right, guys? All right. So, again, you are going to be doing this. You are going to be managing the drone. You are going to be manipulating the flight path, and we're going to show you how to do this safely. All right? And again, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. That's why I'm here. All right?
Good morning, everyone. Aren't we excited? Are we ready to test fly some drones? No? Yeah? Okay. Did you learn anything about the controls so far? Anybody want to share what they have learned about the controls? No? Okay, so we are going to have an interactive session right now with you ladies in the room. So we're going to break you all up into groups. You were given numbers when you entered the room. So look at what number you have right now. Lucky 7, lucky 1, lucky 2. Each number represents a group, and that number is also placed at the group tables at the back. So we're going to divide you guys, or you ladies, into groups. There will be a facilitator who will demonstrate how to operate the indoor drones that we have for you. Isn't that exciting? Isn't that exciting? I'm seeing a lot of thumbs up, right? So in the groups, we have 2 activities for you. One, we have a drone simulator, which the group will be also divided into smaller groups. So on the table, we have 2 separate groups. One of these groups will be doing drone simulation with a drone simulator on the tablets. And the other group will be will demonstrate how to fly the drone, and then you will have hands-on flying the drone indoor, right? These drones are protected, so the propellers are protected, so it doesn't matter if you crash right now. It's training school for you all. All right? Excuse me. So, group 1 to 8. So group 1 is the first table to your right. Group 2, second table to your, left. Group 3, behind. Group 4, to your right, back. And then outside, we have group 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We're going to move 8 inside, by the way. We'll move some of the chairs. All right? So teachers, we are asking the teachers to be at least in one of the group, the tables, so you can help supervise the simulation part of the drone interaction. Okay? So let's get group 1. Group 1, all those in group 1, you can stand and go to the first table to your left if you're facing the back. Everyone in group 1. All right. Group 2, facing the back to your right. The facilitators will be there to instruct you all. Group 3, to the back of the room. 3 to your left, back left. Group 4. All right. Group 5 and 6, outside, left and right. The tables are numbered. So let 5 and 6 go out first, and then we take 7 and 7 will go outside. 8, we will have it inside, okay? All right, so teachers, we're asking your support to assist with the simulation part of the activity. We have tablets so the students can practice while the others actually fly the drones. So 8 will be inside, all right? look it up on the App Store. Play this at home as well.
Okay, good morning everyone. My name is Mr. Charles. Today we'll be doing the basics of carriacou. Okay? So here we have the basically what you see here is each image of this, which we call the controller. These are your joysticks, right? So I have the power button switched on right here. Now we have the cursor, right? So the left cursor, when you push forward on it, it will go up. When you pull back, it goes down. Just right here, however, this causes it to rotate. Okay? So, in the meantime, while the others are playing the drone simulator game, we're going to take practice on how to fly the drone, okay?
Love to see it. I mean, I didn't buy them, so you know, like maybe if you fly it really well, you might, you know. If you got one to go home with, what would you do?
How much were the drones? Mr. Charles, did you bring the drones in? Do you know how much they were individually?
One of the girls from the Ministry of Education. No, they don't.
I suspect it, man. I want to go home with the iPad.
Okay. So this right here, that's the power button on the drone. So once you press this, drones come on. Okay? Here we have the controller. Put it on. Okay. So to connect the drone to the controller, you press this button right here. This one right here, this syncs it. Okay? So you press it once. Should connect right now. And then here, that's how we automatically fly the drone. So when you press this,
Whoever escaped custody and they were trying to find, right? So it could be used for surveillance. What else can you jump on? When you jump on, mention something agriculture. Yes, blogging as well. Right. So I remember when Kinco, have you ever heard of a company called Kinco in Grenada here? They're actually a distillery company and they produce whiskey and rum and stuff for export and also for local markets. And I remember I went there for a little interview because I get a little hustle with them to do some IT. And they were asking me for somebody, maybe one of my past students, and by the way, I am still a teacher at that school. So, he was telling me, can you recommend one of your past students to me who can fly drones? Because as the gentleman said, they wanted somebody to spray chemicals out in the field. So they wanted somebody who could actually operate. And do you know what my answer was? I couldn't recommend anybody because I didn't have anyone in mind who could actually fly drones. Right? So yes, agriculture, and somebody said blogging. Yeah. Listen, while you laughing, I hope you have courage. While you could do that. All right, so without any further ado, because I realize all you just want to fly, right? It's flying to the in it already, right? So, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, because we have 9 persons here, each drone is going to be used by one person, 2 persons. Let me see, what did we get? 3 to 6? Or 3 persons, right? So we are going to try to give everybody a little time on the drone, but you know what? The batteries are not so long lasting. So the batteries will give you about 9 minutes, 7 to 9 minutes. So everybody is going to get at least 3 minutes on it, right? So let's go through the tutorial. So this is the an example of the tutorial. You have that there, and this is your what is this? Controller, right? So I know by now everybody knows. But let me Mr. Rambi explain to you what we're now with controller.
So basically, each drone is controlled by significant controller. And
Here, we want a demo, so we'll see what each button on the drone is. But you could tell them what the button is first, and then show them.
yeah. So everybody pick up their controller. I guess everybody can do it.
Yeah, so 2 persons could look on one controller.
So anybody can spot the 4 buttons over? Alright, go ahead and move them. Everybody over, man? Alright, turn it back on. Let's check it for the battery. Alright.
Going back.
I think Yeah, one minute. Everybody keep your eyes on your.
How is it going, guys? You guys enjoying it? All right. So the next phase is after you get the ability to properly control your drone, you would learn how you could use your drone to take really great photos and videos. This particular drone that you're flying right now may not enable you to do that, but when you get proficient enough in a little bit, like the one that I'm flying right now, you'll be able to take really good pictures. But first, you guys are doing great in terms of controlling the drone. This is a phase one. A little bit later, if you guys, when you guys get outside, if you have any questions and you want to see how you could use the drone, the photos, the camera on the drone to get some creative pictures and excellent videos, you could check me and I'll show you that. In addition, you could use these drones to live stream to all your social media platforms. If you have any questions on how to do that, I'll be more than happy and delighted to show you how to live stream via your drone.
You crash? starts beeping, that means the battery is battery in this one yeah, because if you decide to go hosting, there are some good pipes. Yeah, they're using the cassette. It's in cassette pipe. When they was in the cassette pipe, I was trying to get influence and guys in that. This is where the business center is located. And I said, you're back at
Right, so you see, it's casted. So if I was live right now, and right along, they'll be seeing it. And the audio, yeah. Woo! Hold on, up. Hold on, not too up. Wow. Yeah, alright, so, sure. Huh? If you what? Yeah, it was particular. Right. So this would actually, this is what would be casted on the live broadcast right now. If it was streaming, So that's how it's casted. Let me pull it down. Huh? Right. Comes up landing. Just go down all the way. This particular zone, when it gets to blowing up to the ground, it will decide that you just want to land, and it cuts off. I paid, I think, 900 US for this one, but it's great. This one takes really good pictures. It takes really good pictures. Good quality pictures, good quality video. Right. So there is memory.
All I need is, they don't set up my phone. They go set up all my all I need is a space. Oh. Yeah, just give me a space and say, use that space and test it. You make right? How do you name it? We're just working flow. We're just one guys that we need all of our battery. Yeah. Once the battery goes, let me just see if I could get one. These use up already? These batteries use already? See if we have any juice in that. So you said it, like what you want? Yeah. 7 minutes, 9 minutes. I think that's what's true. Yeah, so I need that because the store had given us a space to host. It's full. Yeah, the server was a bit too slow. By the time one class, because it was LMS, I was still on it. So by the time one class, that server, that week.
All right. 1, 2. Okay, so we'll have 5 more minutes with the drone interaction. Wow. Okay, team leaders. Okay, team leaders, please regroup. Please regroup at your table with the drones. Please regroup at the table with your drones. For those who went outside, please regroup at your tables with the drones. Group 1 to 8. Group 1 to 8. All right. I know we are all excited. Got it. All right. All right. The excitement is real. Okay, team leaders, let's regroup at the tables. Let's account for the drones. Let's account for the drones. Let's forget those that went in Grand Beach. And the one that is on top of the Trade Center. You got the one on the Trade Center? Oh, you actually got the one from Grand Beach. All right. Okay, we know the excitement is real. Let us try to regroup at our tables, please, and account for the drones. Team leaders, please account for the drones. Team leaders will return to Digicel shortly. All right, someone is still flying. We know the excitement is real. All right, so just go back to your team, please. Group 1, 2, 3. It's going to be somewhere. All right, so they found it. Yeah. We had to climb for it. Both? There's one on top of the roof. Right. All right. Yeah. So you want to do breaking for lunch? Oh, you can't hear anything? Okay, okay. So we're going to just break for lunch? That we're breaking for lunch? Okay, at this time, we would just like you to share your experience with your team leader, with the drones interaction at this time. Was it an exciting moment? Do you see yourself becoming a drone pilot for some application? Just share with your team leaders.
If you learn to play a drone really well, you can actually into the photography, into area mapping, into medicine delivery. By the time you're my age, drones will be ubiquitous. It'll be all over the place, and there's so many different things you can do with it. You might find yourself in that particular field. All right, so you might be able to fear right now, but as you get older and you appreciate what you can do, you might find yourself in a particular field. So Lee, thank you very much for being a part of the table. I hope you learned some things. Whether you decide it's for you, it's not for you, that's fine. But I hope that you would have understand how it comes. Okay? All right. So I think right now you're free to go for your lunch. You guys can see. You're welcome. You're welcome. You good?
If you do bring a camera here, you do not forget. Just pretend you're talking to somebody else and you can ignore the camera if you feel like it. That is easy. Yeah.
And I can take the challenge. I can take it.
Oh, you mean the flashes?
Yeah.
No, the best thing to do is to look above the shoulder or to look above the gap. I won't say below because we don't know what below. So. They most likely will be coming to each table. That's why I'm debriefing you. So I say we would like to talk. They talk or they may just pick somebody. So I just warn you all ahead of time. That's what sometimes they do.
Is that a gun and use or something?
I do.
That gun and use or something?
Do I look like I'm in uniform?
Wait.
These boots ain't fitting in. Hold on. Definitely ain't fitting in.
That gun and use or something? That a gun and
It generally goes on GBN or MTV. Most of the time, I science fair too. All of those ended up on TV.
Alright, so we're going to break for 45 minutes lunch. Starting now. Yes, 45 minutes lunch and we regroup afterwards. Lunch is served at the outside.
production of the Eastern Caribbean Telecommunications Authority, and I'm your host, Coretta Crooks-Charles, ECTEL's Communications and Media Relations Manager. ECTEL is the regional regulatory body advising the National Telecommunications Regulatory Commissions, or the NTRCs, on electronic communications or telecommunications matters in our 5 contracting states, namely the Commonwealth of Dominica, Grenada, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. ECTEL Bytes aims to provide you, our viewers, with bite-sized information about developments in electronic communications being undertaken by the Directorate and like-minded organizations. So in case you were not aware, April 25th is Girls in ICT Day. As part of this annual observance by the International Telecommunication Union, or the ITU, organizations from across the globe will be carrying out initiatives under the theme Leadership. This year's theme aims to highlight the crucial necessity for influential female figures as role models in the fields of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics careers, or STEM careers. To flourish in STEM, girls and young women must be exposed to women in leadership positions, fostering inspiration and breaking down barriers that stand in their way. So I'm particularly excited to have a woman leader in ICT with us today. I'm even more excited that she's from one of ECTEL's contracting states, Grenada. Our special guest is Miss Alice Bain, Management Information System Specialist Consultant to UNICEF. Welcome to ECTEL Bytes, Miss Bain.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you, Carita, for the introduction. I look forward to the program, and I hope that at least 1 or maybe 10 young ladies would consider a career in ICT once we have completed the program. Thank you again, and good afternoon, everyone.
Awesome. So let's go right into it. Tell us a bit about your work as an ICT professional at the UNICEF. Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, sorry.
Okay.
Yes. So I work at UNICEF as a Management Information Systems Specialist. And I am currently working in 4 jurisdictions. And it's, you know, when you work with the international organizations, it's all about achieving the development goals. I'm currently working on a system that would be used to target vulnerable persons related to providing social assistance. So it's in the background and it's involving the design and providing advice with the 4 territories, because they all have unique conditions, unique environments, so that we can provide some sort of support in the development and implementation of management information systems in these 4 islands, targeted at vulnerable persons to ensure that they get assistance when they need it, and especially in times of disasters.
Okay, sounds really interesting. Okay, so did you always know you wanted to study and pursue a career in ICT?
I would say no, because we are now talking about ICT, and maybe I'm giving away my age, but when I was a teenager, the terminology ICT was not in existence. We talked about information technology, and we looked at information technology. We were really users of information technology. We didn't think like, okay, I'm going to create something, and that's because of the educational environment I was involved in. I went to a very good school, St. Joseph's Convent, St. Andrews in Grenada, but I did not have the option to do information technology, much less information and communication technology, because it was not yet existing. Information and communication technology came into existence more in the 1990s, early 2000s, throughout those times. So normally you have a feeling of what you're going to do from the age of 14 to 18. And because I did not have the exposure as someone who can develop solutions using information and communication technology, it was not part of my, it was not my thinking that I'll be involved in that field as somebody developing something. At most, I was looking at it as somebody who is using technology.
Yeah. So I'm curious though, so, okay, let me ask, what initially drew you to study computer science, and how did this foundation lead you to your current specialization in MIS or Management Information Systems?
Okay, so I would like to start with my background as a child.
Yes.
And I think my parents laid the foundation. I remember they always used to buy, I used to want to have dolls and kitchen, what the kitchen toys you get for girls traditionally.
Yes.
But I would get them, but for Christmas and so, I remember my parents always provided me with electronic circuit boards, science kits, Rubik's cubes, etc. And I remember the sense of, achievement and how delightful I felt when I created or when I put these wires together and I saw it sparking, or when I mixed different solutions and I saw a color or something happening. So I think from laying that foundation, when you give your child games like these things, and I'm not saying anything is wrong with dolls and kitchenettes and so on as toys, but you create that environment that helps them to learn how to analyze stuff, how to solve problems, how to critically analyze. I mean, things like Scrabble, it was like every Sunday, it's something my family did. So to set the foundation from then, I know I loved anything to do with creation and problem solving because of how I felt when I saw the results. Beyond that, I had a very strong mentor in my dad. My dad was a mathematician, and mathematics was one of my weakest subjects. So when I had to choose my CXC subjects in Form 3, I remember going home all excited, thinking I'm going to be doing integrated science, social studies, and some of the other subjects related to arts. And my father stated to me, no, you would do chemistry, you would do this. And I was sort of upset because I was barely passing those subjects and physics and those things. And then he said, you have to think of it in this way. When you're involved in STEM, it is easy for you to branch off in any field of work that you choose to.
I want to make an announcement. Good afternoon, everybody. We are getting ready to start the second session. I am kindly asking if persons can come to their respective seats so we can have the 1 p.m. start time.
I obtained one CXC subject. I came home very upset, and I said to my dad, if I had done social studies, integrated science, etc., I know I would have passed these subjects. He said, there is nothing wrong with failure. You can retry. I'm not upset. I went back and I achieved my subjects. Now I went into to do my bachelor's degree. And again, with his guidance, he always used to have things like Time magazine, and he would follow the developments in technology and discuss it. And I was very interested. We had a lot of interesting discussions related to technological developments. So he said, why not study computer science? The first thing I said, but is it heavy on maths? He said, yes, but there is nothing wrong. If you fail, you just do your best, and there is always a second chance. I went in and I did the degree in computer science. I did pass, and I said, okay, I love computer science, but it is so heavily math intensive. I started to look at careers that the school was pushing. I saw things like engineering, network engineering, and all of these things are heavily math intensive. So what I did, I said, there must be an area that I can do that does not involve so much math. Remember, I'm saying that you need math, but I'm choosing one that does not involve so much math. So I started to look at computer information system and management information system, which is mixing both business and computer science in delivering solutions. So when I looked at computer information system, I said, oh my God, it is heavily, it's both business and technology, but it's more technology than business. When I looked at management information system, it looked at both business principles and so on and technology, but it was more focused on the management side. But it is a field of technology because you need to have that basic understanding. So given that I had that foundation in computer science, I acknowledged my struggles with mathematics. I then selected to go the route of a management information system specialist, and sometimes I do perform the role of project manager and project coordinator for various projects, which does not require you to have a lot of mathematics involved. So that's how I ended up in MIS.
No, I really appreciate you sharing so vulnerably, Ms. Bain, if I may call you Alice.
Yes, that's fine.
Thank you. No, it's important. And I really love the lesson that your dad gave you. It's okay to fail, just try again. So
Yes.
I'm really hoping that this will at least sink in with one child who probably has the inclination, you know, for IT, but they're not too strong in the math. Look at you, where you're coming from. So thank you so much for sharing so vulnerable with our viewers. All right, so how did pursuing computer science followed by an MBA contribute to your effectiveness as a leader in the ICT sector?
What I would say is that when you have a technical foundation and you couple that with the basic principles you learn in business and you have a strategic vision, I think it's a perfect combination for becoming a leader. One thing I learned from my research, a lot of persons who are involved in the technical field, as your career advances, you move more into a managerial role, which does not need you to be hands-on in programming. It does not need you to be hands-on in networking, but it requires you to provide some sort of direction to persons who are actually doing these operational tasks. Now, as I stated before, the foundation that I had, it is still there. My knowledge is still there. I have the basic knowledge. I'm not practicing as a programmer, but I did C++, Java, and so on when I did my degree. So I know, and I passed it. I passed the courses. I did system designs. I did certain things related to algorithms. I did a lot of mathematical courses, calculus, discrete mathematics, and so on. And I passed it, but I knew I was struggling. So given the fact that, and you know, when you say leader in ICT, I feel humbled in a way, because I think when you say leader, you're comparing with others. And I think we do have that situation where a lot of women are not choosing the field. So it's easy to identify somebody like me as a leader, because I'm thinking leaders in ICT, if they are around, and it's a field of study that the personality, you kind of in the background. So a lot of people might be leaders and they are not out there and they are not sharing their experiences. But to go back to your question, coupled with an MBA, it's a natural transition for persons who study technology once you're advanced in your career. You have a more hands-off, directive, and strategic approach to help businesses, organizations, etc., reach their strategic goals.
Okay, thanks so much for that. How essential is a strong background in mathematics for pursuing a successful career in the ICT industry? And which specific ICT roles require more advanced mathematical skills?
Well, I must start by saying mathematics is important, but I think because we are talking to young girls and ladies in ICT or young ladies in ICT, I would expand it a bit, not just to talk about the strong mathematics, the careers related to the strong mathematics. ICT is important, I would say, in all careers, but as it relates to information and communication technology, I would say that basic math, which I would equate to something like our CXE in the region, our CXE, oh, sorry, I think it's CSEC they call it now.
Yes.
Our CSEC math. I would say if you're interested in something like IT support and system admin, which is about maintaining, troubleshooting, and so on, it basically requires more of a strong technical skill than mathematical skill. And you would need basic geometry than strong mathematical skill. Now, a field of study that I see a lot of women are getting into is user interface and user experience. And that focuses a lot on visual design principles. That doesn't need a lot of mathematics. You need a good understanding of geometry and also maybe color principles and those things, but you don't need strong, I would say strong mathematics. And I'm going through these things because I want persons to know that ICT is so wide. Yes. You have a lot of different fields. My field is not strong mathematics, you know, and there are a lot of different fields. Now, in terms of medium, I would say medium mathematics, and I would equate medium mathematics mainly to maybe our A level. And I mean, I did A level a long time ago, so I'm subject to correction because I'm not too sure what the curriculum is now. But when I did A level, I would say medium mathematics is related to maybe A level. And I would think fields like software engineering, because they do involve some level of mathematical concepts like algorithm design, optimization, but the level of maths in software engineering may vary based on the complexity of the project. You would need to know certain things about algorithms and so on to get involved in that field of work. Now, to the question that you asked related to strong mathematics, I would say fields like computer science and programming, and you would need to know a lot about data structures, algorithm, computational theory, and discrete maths, calculus, linear algebra, and the list goes on and on. When you're looking at things like cryptography, if you want to become a cryptographist, you would also need a lot of mathematics because you have to learn about these concepts about encrypting and decrypting data to ensure that it's safely transmitted. And of course, where we all know about AI and machine learning. These fields are really and truly demanding a very, very, very strong level of mathematics. But there are fields that you can look at that requires low level of mathematics, medium, and those that I explained require very strong level of mathematics.
Okay. No, thanks for that breakdown, you know, the low level, medium, and advanced. So I'm sure persons now would have a better appreciation of what it entails if they want to, you know, pursue a specific career path as it pertains to math, you know. So thanks for that. Looking forward, what advancements in ICT do you find most exciting, and how do you see them influencing future leadership roles for women in the sector?
And I think the answer I'll give, I think most persons would give it in this century. And I think you know it, it's artificial intelligence and machine learning. I'm really excited about it. And they go hand in hand. And we see, I don't know if you're on Facebook, and I guess you are on Facebook or social media platform. We are on Facebook now anyway.
Yes.
But I'm sure you've seen a lot of artificially generated photos, arts, videos. What I realize, most of us use it as games. Half of my friends on Facebook now are having kids because they use an artificial intelligence tool to produce, or they're looking all nice and pregnant, or they're in a business suit and so on. These advancements, although in the region we use it for fun, a lot of persons in the developed world, they are using these types of tools to create stories, to create books, to create some sort of things that bring in an income. So artificial intelligence also, even to come up with ideas, ChatGPT, to write certain things. I know some people say, oh, it's not original and it's this, that, and the other. But that's the way we are moving. We are moving into that realm where you have a lot of support to do things that normally you'll have to take days and hours to do. And we should take advantage of it. So I think based on the developments in artificial intelligence, the barrier to entry in certain traditional fields, I think it has been dropped and it's open to everyone, man, woman, children, but we know that women, sometimes you are more disadvantaged in certain fields and so on. So I do believe artificial intelligence, but I would also like to speak on the emergence of a lot of remote working technologies. And this one is specific to women. I can ask you, who balances, and it's no disrespect to the men, who balances career and family?
Mostly the women.
Mostly the women.
Yes.
I don't want to say anything but I think our policies in the region should promote remote work. I work remotely, and in my opinion, I produce more. You may have to change the way of thinking.
Yes.
But this is an advancement in technology that I think specifically benefits a woman. If my child is sick, I do not have to take 3 days off work. I can sit at home, she's in another room, and I can get up and give her medication because unless it's a baby, I don't have to sit there constantly.
Yes.
You know, and I can perform my task. In our part of the world, I think remote work, there are so many studies that show the benefits and the cost of remote work, and everybody's trying to get everybody else back in office. But I'm a proponent for remote work, and I love it. And I think this advancement, and they have a lot of things that can check the time you log in, how much time you spend on your computer, what work you do. Imagine battling traffic for 2 hours or 1 hour and a half, and you're frustrated by the time you get there. You're spending money when you can stay at home and work. But it involves a change in thinking. So for me, yes, artificial intelligence is all nice, and so it helps you create new things. But I think remote work and some of the tools, etc., it allows you to use can improve productivity in a lot of areas.
No, I'm glad. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, and I'm saying that is really key for women because they manage the households. No disrespect to men.
No, none at all, none at all. I'm glad you pointed out remote working because I often lament the fact that we spend so much time in traffic. And I always wonder, how productive are we as a country, as a region? And I'm guessing based on what you just said there, Grenada suffers a similar situation with spending a lot of time in traffic.
Yes.
So this is something our leaders or employers could consider. And as you rightfully said, it could judge when you're logging in, when you're actually online, when you're offline, and you have your goals and your targets to meet. So
yes.
It's indeed something interesting that we shouldn't, look into as the Caribbean, because I would imagine other, countries, first world countries are on top of this. And I'm hoping we won't lag too far behind. But thanks for bringing that up, Alice. So according to the ITU, although women now fill 40% of high-skill occupations globally, their participation in ICT-related fields continues to be low. Women are nearly absent from software development, engineering, technology research, academia, as well as at the highest levels of policymaking. They also tend to leave science and technology jobs at higher rates than men. Have you encountered any major challenges in this male-dominated field? Have you ever thought, this is not for me, it's too much, let me leave it for the men? And if so, how did you overcome them?
When I started, yes, because when you just start in a career, you're kind of timid, you have ideas, but sometimes the voices of men are so strong in the room and you're the only female in a conference room filled with men and you have such strong personalities. It's nothing that they did, but you just feel, like you're hiding yourself, you're afraid. So when I started my career, it was like that. I was intimidated, and I think I did not speak up. So that was a challenge that I'm thinking I'm the only woman, I'm young, and it's a desk full of men. I don't know if what I'm about to say would make sense. So that was a challenge I had to deal with within myself, but also some men knew it and they took advantage of it. But that comes with personal development training and as you advance in your career. So that was then, but now I don't think there are more women getting involved in technology, and I think they know the importance of having women at the table. When you started with things like facial recognition, even from the design stage, and I mean, you had issues with race, you had issues with recognizing features of women. Why? Because the developers and the testers were mainly men. So if you're testing facial recognition and certain things, it recognizes you. So, but they are not the users. The users are a wide demographic of persons. So based on that too, they started to really accept women in a lot of fields because our perspective are quite different from the men perspectives. And to get we are users also. You're not developing stuff for men. So I think recognizing the importance of our perspective, recognizing the importance of the input that we have, they have been less, I don't want to use the word arrogant because some are when they are speaking to women, not all. I've met a lot of men who are very welcoming and they provide guidance to me as a young lady in ICT. So, but there were those who felt, okay, this is our thing. We are accustomed with math, engineering. What is she really doing here? So, in terms of those challenges, I think it was a natural transition for men to start accepting us. And in terms, but in terms of
Good afternoon, everyone. Our future ICT leaders, good afternoon. Just want to make sure that we are awake after the long lunch break and the exercise, flying drones and so on. We are now going to start the afternoon session, and I expect and we will appreciate your continued attention. At this time, I just want to establish protocol and extend a warm welcome and good afternoon to Mr. Meredith Shapples, the Regional General Manager of Digicel, Mr. Findley Jeffrey, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of ICT, representatives of ILCOM and FLO, Ms. Alice Bain, Commissioner of the NTRC, members of the media, teachers, students, our future ICT leaders, one and all, good afternoon and welcome to the session. At this time, we will stand and prepare ourselves for the national anthem, and I will invite Ms. Zariel Jeffrey to lead us in the anthem.
of us, we pledge ourselves to thee. Heads, hearts, and hands in unity to reach our destiny. Ever conscious of God, being proud of our heritage, may we with faith and courage aspire, build, advance as one people, one family. God bless our nation. Thank you.
I now invite you to have your seats. At this time, we will now have a video message, Girls in ICT Day. Please look to the screen to my left for that video message.
This year, we're focused on leadership and how the international community can support women and girls everywhere to become leaders in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Leadership is so much more than holding a job title or a position of power. It's about harnessing the power of ideas and innovation, and the ability to navigate change with confidence, whether you're a student, entrepreneur, or head of state. Our shared digital future needs women leaders who are not just technologically skilled, but visionaries with a voice to advocate for a more inclusive, equitable, and sustainable world online and offline. As we continue to witness unprecedented digital transformation with the rise of AI and other emerging technologies, we simply cannot afford to keep leaving half the world's population behind. Right now, just 21% of all ICT ministers are women, and only 32 out of 165 ICT regulators are led by a woman. In the highest positions of government, gender equality will not be reached for another 130 years. In the private sector, women technologists occupy less than a third of positions and face a pay gap of 21%. Just 22% of AI workers globally are women, and the hiring rate of women in tech leadership roles has stalled. When we look at C-suite roles in STEM, just 1 in 8 is held by a woman. I think it's high time to turn all of this around. To all the young girls out there, the tech sector needs you. Your ideas, creativity, and perspectives are essential if gender equality is to become a reality. We need you to step into leading roles, to challenge stereotypes, and to contribute to building a digital future that benefits everyone. To the international community, let's empower and encourage more young women than ever to step up into the world of STEM. Let's invest in their education, mentorship, and skill-building opportunities so that they can not only succeed, but thrive as digital trailblazers. Let's celebrate, support, and inspire our girls on Girls in ICT Day and every day, because they are the leaders of our digital tomorrow.
Now, ladies, we realize from that message the importance of not only of today's event, but the impact that you are being charged with for your schools, for your wider communities, for impacting Grenada, the region, and the world. So as we proceed, I am now going to invite Ms. Alice Bain, who is also an outstanding ICT leader. Ms. Alice Noala Bain is a project management professional with over 15 years of expertise in ICT system design and implementation across the Caribbean. Currently, she serves as a management information systems specialist, consultant to UNICEF, focusing on enhancing humanitarian programs through technology. She has managed World Bank-funded projects specializing in the expansion of ICT network infrastructure and the design and development of electronic government systems. Alice holds an MBA from Birmingham Business School and a BSc in computer science from Andrews University. Her leadership in various projects has significantly impacted ICT development, aligning technology with strategic development goals in the region. Ladies and our distinguished guests, please help me in welcoming Ms. Alice Bain to the podium.
Mr. Finley Jeffrey, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of ICT, and other ministry officials. Mr. Aaron Francois, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Education, and other Ministry of Education officials. Mr. Vincent Roberts, Chairman of the National Telecommunications Regulatory Commission, and other board members. Dr. John Telesford, Principal of TAMCC, and other officials from TAMCC. Mr. Timothy Scott, Coordinator at the NTRC, and other staff members from the NTRC. Ms. Katian James, Deputy Chief Education Officer. Managers and representatives from the telecom providers, specially invited guests, teachers and students from the various secondary schools and other tertiary level institutions in Grenada, members of the media, good afternoon and thank you for being here. As I speak today, I want you to keep this name that I'm about to mention in mind, Nacha Sangwa. On April 19, 2024, in a United Nations Women release, Nacha from Rwanda said that when she expressed a desire to learn computer coding, people in her life and her family said, "Do you really think you'll be able to handle this? Isn't this about boys and men?" Nacha responded, "I was motivated to prove them wrong. I was motivated to learn how to code and pursue a career in tech. Please keep this in mind as we discuss the importance of breaking barriers and challenging the stereotypes in the tech industry. What if I told you that right here today in this room lies the potential to forge a safer internet environment for all? What if I told you that right here lies the potential to design and build systems and applications? What if I told you that the potential to create artificial intelligence art that showcases our culture and lifestyle is right here today? What if I told you the potential to use artificial intelligence technology to develop improved chatbots beyond the existing ChatGPT, Copilot, and others that are common, can be developed and be used worldwide? In this room lies the potential to work in some of the biggest tech companies and organizations that add value, drive change, and development through ICT. If I were to list all of the potentials in this room, I think we'll be here till tomorrow. But most importantly, right here today, there are a few of you struggling to take your idea to the next step because of fear. Fear of being ridiculed and fear of being a failure. Remember, this fear has the ability to imprison extraordinary ideas within the confines of hesitation, leaving them trapped right where they are right now, in your head. You, young lady, with that idea, you have been researching how to get it off the ground, but you just don't know where to turn or what to do next. Which leads me to the role of leaders. Leadership in the context of empowering girls in ICT is about seizing opportunities to make a difference, both individually and collectively. It is about recognizing the potential within yourself to drive positive change, whether it's through innovation, advocacy, or collaboration. Each of you possesses the power to lead by example, inspire others, and contribute to shaping the future of technology. Leadership is not just about holding a formal position of authority. It's about taking initiative, being proactive, and harnessing your unique talents and perspectives to make unique and meaningful contributions in the world of ICT. Regardless of the specific career paths that you may choose, each one of you has the ability to be a leader in your own right, driving progress and creating impact in the ever-evolving landscape of technology. Today, Grenada joins countries around the world in celebrating International Girls in ICT Day, an initiative championed by the International Telecommunication Union since 2011. Since its inception, the National Telecommunications Regulatory Commission has partnered with Ministries of Education and ICT, our tertiary level institution and service providers to execute programs geared to empower you and young women to become more involved in the field of ICT. This day serves as a platform to empower girls and young women to explore opportunities in STEM, particularly in the area of ICT. By raising awareness and providing exposure to ICT-related careers, this day inspires you to consider careers that you may not have otherwise pursued. Earlier, you had the opportunity to hear from Dr. Camille Lewis, who recently received a prestigious technology award for her significant contributions over the last 15 years at Lockheed Martin. Dr. Lewis is proudly Grenadian. She began her journey here in Grenada. Her foundational education happened right here in Grenada. She had access to similar or even less resources than you currently have access today. Her success story is a powerful reminder that with determination and access to the right opportunities, remarkable achievements are well within your reach. While we celebrate Dr. Lewis, though, we have very few females in ICT to celebrate here in Grenada. So we cannot ignore the statistics. Imagine a field like cybersecurity that is in such high demand. Only 22% of the persons working in that field are women. Research indicates that diverse gender teams outperform their peers by 55%, and companies with greater female leadership achieve significantly higher returns on investment. Increasing female participation in tech could boost global economy by $299 billion. Yet, women remain vastly underrepresented, particularly in cutting-edge fields like AI, where only 15% of researchers at major companies such as Facebook are women, and even fewer are found at Google. You are receiving the same education as the boys. So this stark disparity challenges us to act. If we do not take proactive steps to initiate change, who will? Continuing with business as usual is not an option for us. You cannot continue and expect different outcomes. It is imperative to everyone, policymakers, businesses, men, yes, you play a role, and women like me in tech, to help you achieve your goals. We have to conduct research to find out why. Why are women not getting more involved in careers in ICT? We must then actively dismantle the existing barriers and cultivate an environment where both men and women have equal opportunities to excel in the tech industry. It is worth noting that Estonia's leadership in ICT is no accident. In 2012, Estonia embarked on a groundbreaking initiative, a nationwide program supported by businesses, telecoms, etc., to teach coding to all school children aged 7 to 19. So, who is going to assist the young girl today who is sitting here with her idea and she doesn't know where to start? Today is not just a day to celebrate women in ICT, but it is a call for action. Let us commit to equipping every young woman with the skills, opportunities, and support that she needs to succeed in the field of ICT. We must ensure that gender does not dictate one's role in the technological landscape. We must create mentorship programs. We must provide resources and build a supportive community that encourages every girl to turn their idea into reality. So every young lady here today, your potential is boundaryless. Your ideas are vital, and your contributions are essential for the future we are building. You are not alone in this endeavor. We are here to support, encourage, and celebrate you each step of the way. And I hope today, with the presence of some of the policymakers and the business community, I hope today we can come together and put things in place to support these young ladies instead of having a talk shop every year on Girls in ICT Day. Encourage more women to pursue careers in ICT, taps into a vast pool of untapped talent by providing equal opportunities, support. The industry can benefit from the unique skills and abilities that women bring to the table. Empowering women in ICT not only benefits individuals involved, but also contributes to the socioeconomic growth and development of the country. By harnessing the full potential of women in the workforce, countries can enhance their competitiveness and foster innovation-driven economies. We implore you, stakeholders across various sectors, to actively support Girls in ICT Day. Remember, I started by mentioning Natasha from Kenya. She's just like you, a high school student with big dreams and determination to make a difference. Using robotics and next generation technologies, she's pioneering solutions that tackle real world challenges. She developed a prototype to aid her community in responding to climate change. Her innovation was a mechanical irrigation system that aims to boost productivity and yields in rural areas in Kenya, demonstrating the power of young minds in shaping a brighter future. If she can do it, nothing is stopping you. Happy Girls in ICT Day 2024.
Ladies, we are given yet another charge for this afternoon session. And I don't know if you can recall, but when we looked at each other this morning, what was the promise that we've made? If Natasha is able to do it, if Dr. Lewis is able to do it, if Miss Alice Bain is able to do it, so can I, and so can you. Remember that whenever it comes to achieving goals, going after your dreams, it will never be easy. I do believe it was Les Brown who said, the person who is only preventing you from going after your dreams and achieving them are the person standing in your shoes, wearing your clothes, and thinking your negative thoughts. Today, you have been given a wealth of information. I hope that you all are empowered. Are we empowered, ladies? Did we learn a lot today, ladies? Yes. I want to hear you. Are we inspired, ladies? Yes. Exactly. And we're going to go out into our respective schools, our respective communities, and make changes. It is not just about Facebook. It is not just about Instagram. It goes beyond that, coming up with solutions and making great changes to impact our communities. At this time, to wrap up our evening session, I will invite Ms. Katian James, the Deputy Education Chief Officer, School Administrator in the Ministry of Education, to give us a vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. And how are we doing today? Today is indeed an awesome day for women and young girls in ICT. Wouldn't you say so? And I heard that you had an enjoyable time today interacting. Great. So I am here to do the simple task of giving the vote of thanks. But before I really do give the vote of thanks, I must share a reading that was taken from Forbes magazine, which spoke of AI and how women are phenomenal behind trailblazers of AI. So according to an article in the Forbes magazine dated March 2024, for every man celebrated as an AI trailblazer, there exists a phenomenal woman who is also making significant contributions to cut the field. The article, however, goes on to lament that the contributions of women to that are often overlooked. thus perpetuating a harmful stereotype that AI is a male-dominated field. Girls, we have to change that. Wouldn't you say so? We need to embrace what we have with technology and encourage you young ladies to be ambitious, to be proactive, to be innovative, to reach out there so that you can be trailblazers as well. Men, we are not saying that we want to take over, you know. All we're saying is that we have a part to play in leading through ICT. Give yourself, young ladies, a round of applause for being here and being part of this. And remember what Ms. Bain said, because she can represent for you a role model in the process of ensuring that you advance in the field of technology. Because there is room for you out there, but you have to be the ones to take the step to move forward to ensure that you embrace what is coming to you. All right, so thank you. So I would now go ahead to say my thank you, because I want you to know that you're phenomenal. So we must extend thanks to Ms. Zariel Jeffrey, who, from St. Andrew's Anglican Secondary, who blessed you with the national anthem. Let's give Zariel a round of applause. Well done. And Zariel is keeping the art alive. I think she's following from Daddy's footsteps. All right? And that's good. We want her to continue to do that. Without God being present in activities like this and us acknowledging God, we would not have success. So thank you, Ms. Giovanna Mack from NTRC, for ensuring that we are blessed this afternoon. Welcoming remarks from Dr. Philomena Cato. Thank you very much for bestowing those remarks on us and encouraging and showing that we do not have that diversity or that gap within ICT. Dr. Camille Lewis, ICT Leadership, Grenada-born engineer, thank you for being part on and sharing. You had an opportunity for question and answers, and where we had Mr. Junior George and Ride Along, and so we encourage these media personals and these things to happen so that you can engage and your voice can be heard as young girls and young ladies. All right? We also had this afternoon where you had your closing ceremony and you had the message from ITU. We are very much appreciative when we can hear, because this is not just for Grenada, but it is international, and you must be able to hear what is happening in the world around. And listening to the message, you heard the cry and the call for leadership in ICT. You heard of STEM. You heard of ensuring that young girls and women take their role in STEM. And we know what STEM means. Am I correct? What does STEM mean? What does STEM mean? Science and mathematics. Give yourself a round of applause. Because when we have to speak the language, all right? So thank you very much for reminding us. Ms. Bain, I felt proud as a woman. I felt proud as a Grenadian listening to you articulate in front of here. And I know the young girls who are here felt proud, looking at you, listening to you. And I know what you have spoken would not fall on deaf ears, because they would remember Natasha. That's her name, right? Right, they would remember Natasha. And they would also remember that they have an ambition and they can go towards what they want. There is space for you. So thank you very much for bringing remarks and sharing. To the chairperson, another young woman, very articulate. Our girls are looking up at you. We, as young women, must be able to be role models for our young girls to follow. And we have to, when we stand in front of them, we should show them confidence. We should show them, what you would say, intelligence. We should be empathetic, but they know that what we are doing here, they can follow in our footsteps and they can make it great. So thank you for being here and articulating for us. To all of those who supported this initiative, to NTRC, to the Ministry of ICT, to all of the donor agencies, the partners who have worked with this, we wholeheartedly thank you. The Ministry of Education will never be able to do anything without the support of others. And the Ministry of Education is very thankful that we have our students and our teachers here to embrace this opportunity, and our girls. Next year, I know some of you will be looking forward to this, and this will continue and be better forever. So remember, we are trending with AI. While we have the men as trailblazers, we have phenomenal women behind them, and you young ladies can be part of that success. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Mrs. James. Ladies, ICT future leaders, we have now come to the end of today's proceedings, but I do want to remind you one last time of all the things that you've learned today. Remember, just that takeaway, that if they can do it, you can do it too. Remind your sisters, remind your colleagues, remind your other friends in school that yes, they were able to do it. Go back to your schools, share these stories. You have access to social media, keep on reading, keep on researching, finding out, learning a lot of the coding languages and so on. Play games. I remember when I was starting out myself, and you go into a computer cafe at the time, I used to be the only female playing video games, but it was always an excellent experience, and it helped me on my journey. So ladies, thank you so much. Our distinguished guests, thank you so very much, and I will now invite you to the front for a group photo, and everybody get home. Oh, I'm so sorry, I was told it's outside. Yes? So everyone get home safely, and thank you so very much for your time. Thank you.